camera view now. This is different. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this live. I'm really, really excited because today is the official last day of Breath Technique Challenge. And if you've been joining me throughout the week, Breath Technique Challenge has been a really neat way for you to try out some of these breathing techniques for yourself. And it's been a way that you can see just how powerful the breath is. And it's also a chance for you to enter and to win your seat into Breath Technique Training. And Breath Technique Training is a 6-week online training. This is where you learn over 60 different breathing techniques. It's accessible. The learning is accessible through different videos that are in the training, guided audio practices that legitimately walk you through all of the breathing techniques. We go on 6 live Q&As on Zoom, so we all get to connect and chat with each other. You also get a bunch of illustrations, worksheets, homework, tons of text. It's just packed with information, and that's why it is an $897 program. So it is something that I have invested my whole life in profession into, and I've really tried to share as much as I can in this online format. And what I'm not able to share in the online format, I do a breath teacher certification. And that is a way to, if you want to teach after you've done breath technique training, you don't have to continue your breath education. But if you want to, you can come and meet me in person for breath teacher certification. And that is where I actually go over a lot of the teaching, and you get to be immersed in the teaching style of it. So just know that that has been what this week has really been about, to share my passion of breathing techniques so you can get a taste of them as well, but also to offer up the opportunity for you to continue to learn more. So I want to welcome Reverend Heather Elizabeth. She's become one of my very, very dear friends. She actually was one of my first students in breath technique training. So this is about to be my 5th go of breath technique training, and I only offer it twice a year. And it was such a treat to have Heather in not only my first breath technique training online, but also in my first teacher training in person as well. So Heather, do you just want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Danny.
Yay, thank you so much. So I want to announce the winner and announce a bunch of other gifts that I'm going to give. But I first kind of want to just dive into some conversation with Heather so that you really get an idea of what's being given away, and also you get an idea of what is really being offered through breath technique training. So Heather, I'm just curious, like when you first signed up for breath technique training, like your perception of it, like what you thought you were signing up for, and then at the very end of the training, kind of like what you got out of it. Was that the same? Did the expectations meet up to it? Or yeah, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really had very little idea what I was getting into. It was kind of just like a flash from the universe being like, do you want this scholarship? And I was like, I really do. But I knew even from the first mention of it that somehow, some way it was going to change my life. You know, it was this really big wave of a feeling that I had. And by the end of the month-long course, it was very evident that it had already changed my life. And the past year and a half almost, even though I've still really had to climb that mountain and get a lot of health back, a lot of self back, it's definitively been the number one thing that has altered the actual course of my life, which is pretty huge.
Oh, so Heather, I know I can hear you here on the stream. I think for the people on Facebook and YouTube, I think they can hear you, but I think the Instagram can't hear you. Oops.
So if I turn that mic off, it does that feedback loop.
So instead of turning the mic off, if you can just turn the volume on your phone down. So like if you were like listening to a video or something, if you just turn that volume all the way down. Okay. Thanks everybody on Instagram for letting us know. And then we're going to troubleshoot this real quick to see if it works.
Okay, let me try that way. Is that it?
Yeah, so you just have to make sure that there's no audio coming out of your device. So like you just have to have the volume turned down.
I do. I don't like. I have the screen volume and the side volume down.
because what's happening is your microphone on your headphones is picking up audio that's coming out of one of your devices.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So like you can so I'm only listening in my headphones on my computer, and then on my phone I have the volume on the side all the way down. Sorry guys.
Well,
Always fun on technology.
I have the volume on the side all the way down too.
Okay, so are you is your headphones plugged into your computer or your phone?
My phone.
Okay, so you got to plug your you got to plug your headphones into your computer.
No, I don't.
Sorry, everybody.
Grab those. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've ever gone live on Instagram, and this is actually also the first time that I've tried to stream a bunch of lives together. So thank you so much for bearing with us and just the first little bit of technology hiccups. And we'll see if we can get it working, because Heather is, not only is she just an amazing person, but I love her story and her journey through breath technique training, as well as everywhere that she's gone through with the certification of the breath work and kind of what she's up to on her own, as well as how she's sharing it with more people in her own way. If you're here live, give me a little wave. Let me know that you're here. Oh. I see Edward is here. I see Yana is here. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Chelsea. Thank you so much for joining. So glad that you're here. Awesome. Hi. Hello, hello. Oh, my mama's here. Hi, Mama.
Danny, can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to try it without headphones because I don't have ones that go into my computer. So is that?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
So, Yana, anybody who's here on Instagram, will you let me know if you can hear Heather now as well? Ooh. So there's the feedback.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason. So glad you're here.
I don't know what to do, Danny. I can get that to stop, but I don't have a direct connect into this microphone.
So that's okay. Let's see. Yana, if you're there on Instagram, can you now hear Heather? Heather, will you try to talk a few?
Well, I'm muted over here because when I unmute it, I do the echo thing.
But so there's like the audio that comes out of the computer, and then there's the audio that goes in. So the audio that goes in shouldn't be muted, but the audio that comes out should be muted. Does that make sense?
On my computer?
On your phone. Nope, yeah. Benzo Recovery Jenny says she can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer, you guys. We really want to make this work on Instagram. I know it's definitely working if you're on Facebook or YouTube. I think the last troubleshoot I can think of is maybe if I switch my audio to my phone, but I don't know if that will work because I have all my audio coming in through. Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
This happens to me a lot, so I apologize.
Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if actually. Here, let me see. I'm going to try something different, guys. Bear with me for just a moment. So, Heather, just stay how you are.
Will do.
And then I'll just for a second. All right. So, first, can everybody hear me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube? Get a thumbs up. And then Heather, if you will say just a few words here.
Yes. Should be able to hear me over here, but not in the Instagram.
Awesome. And then Helgata Lives, will you let me know if you just heard Heather where she said like what she was just saying? Awesome. Okay, cool. So this is gonna work. So they're gonna, you guys are getting like secondary audio, but I hope it works. So you're gonna hear kind of like a different loop of audio. Okay, cool. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, thank you so much again for all of your patience. This is, like first lives are different, and this is like a cool way for us to connect. So Heather, I just kind of, if you could, just for the people on Instagram, just give them like a little summary again, just kind of how you had interpreted maybe, or like you weren't sure what breath technique training was going to be, and then kind of what happened towards the end of it where you're like, oh, this is definitely going through my life in some way.
Yeah, so I had no idea what I was stepping into. I really just had an overall feeling of do it and yes. And during the course of the training, if you will, it just really directly shifted. I want to say something in my life, but I want to say the autonomic nervous system. Like it really took something, a big stress out of me. And by the end of the course, I was definitively a really, really different feeling person on the inside. And for anyone who knows me and a little bit about my story, I was recovering, and I'm still recovering from iatrogenic illness caused by benzodiazepines. So I have tried countless modalities of healing. I have tried so many things, and this has been the number one thing to get me into my current state of health, my current state of mind, my current state of alignment. Like, Danny, I couldn't show up to our like weekly Zoom meetings in last April. And now I facilitate my own Zoom meetings, and here I am doing a live when there's technical difficulties happening, and I'm still like managing all of the stress really well, which is just a testament to what you do.
Thank you so much. It's so cool because like I have a very similar story in the sense of just like how magically the breath has shifted my ability to show up, not to only show up for myself and to show up in the ways that I want to, but to really show up for so many other people. I'm curious too how you're applying the techniques now. So there's a lot of techniques that we go over in breath technique training, and I know that you're in the process of building something really special. So do you want to touch on that just a little bit, how you're applying them?
Yeah, so personally, I just really invited all of the techniques into my normal everyday life. So we had a lot of homework, and I'm not good at homework. It actually stresses me out. And so I really just took those applications into nature, into cooking, into cleaning, into all these really normal everyday things. And that was what shifted me the most. And then I've been little by little, piece by piece, kind of building my own sort of technology, if you will, for other people who are in the depths of hell, essentially, and feel like they have no hope and no real tools to bring them into real health and alignment. So I'm still kind of formulating my own technique, and I'm creating an academy for people who want to show up weekly and consistently to contribute to their own health and their own well-being.
So cool. I can't wait to see it all in its full manifestation and fruition, and to really see the effect of how it's filtering into other people's lives, because this is really like a baton of breath techniques, to where my whole mission was that I'm only one person, and once I realized the power of these breathing techniques and what they could do for me, it was like, well, there's no way I can touch every human in the world, but I want to. Like, I want everybody to know these techniques and feel them for themselves and to really feel empowered. I think that's the biggest thing, is to when you do feel like you're in hell and you're in that dark doldrum, you're like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. It's like a life preserver that comes and rescues you. And the coolest part is like you're doing it yourself, so you really have that ability to depend on yourself. So I'm curious too of how, when you then went through, so you did breath technique training, and then you did the breath certification, and that was in person. And I just know that I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. But if you mind just sharing a little bit on your experience through that as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to say it's kind of like a life preserver. It's kind of like a boat with a motor in it that will get you to shore. So just a small, attachment to that. But yeah, again, I never considered even being a breathwork teacher or guide or instructor, but I was like, I need to do these to figure out more of the magic. And it's just really kind of unraveled into more of a need that's been presented to me than me trying to kind of like take everything I've learned in both of these trainings into the world. Because when you come sit in these classes, you allow for so much space and so much freedom that it's like whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's really up to you. And I think that because it's so open to anyone, it's like not everyone's going to be in my situation with benzos, or not everyone is in hell. Some people are working and they have families, and maybe they're a nurse or a doctor in the middle of this pandemic, and they're still paying all their bills and doing normal things, but they're looking for a way to change their internal life, like not always being on stress mode and just go, go, go. It's just the thing that will pattern disrupt your trauma or your idea of who you are so well that it will allow you to transform this teaching into anything that you want it to be, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a doctor, whether you're things that you think are separate from breath work. Breath work is the only thing. If you don't have that connection and that rootedness in your breath, you cannot do anything else to the fullness of your ability. So even if you're a performance person, you're looking to like make gains in the gym, like this is the tool that will really help you get there. And I don't know if that answered the question, but we're going to go with that.
It totally does, and I just love to see your commitment and passion to the breath, because it's just like you're speaking my language. And I think that when I get a couple of different reactions when I talk about the power and the potential of breathing techniques, and a lot of times people are like, it's just breathing, like they kind of think, everybody's breathing all the time and we've been doing it fine for however long we've been alive, so like why do we need do these particular techniques or even bring more awareness onto the breath patterns. But I always try to explain people from the basic building blocks of life is that we put so much energy and effort, or a lot of people do, into what we're eating, how often we're eating, how much we're eating, and then also in the sense of how we're moving our body and we're processing that fuel. But like your primary source of fuel is oxygen. It's legitimately being delivered with every breath you take. Your heart's then pumping it throughout your entire body to every single cell and tissue, and it's like the quality of those 22,000 something breaths that you take every single day have such an effect, one, physiologically, like into your body chemistry, your blood chemistry, but also physically. Like so many people don't understand the breathing mechanics. They're breathing with stress breaths, they're breathing with low back pain, and they don't realize the very tangible connection to like that primary breathing muscle. So it goes so deep. Like it doesn't, the power doesn't just stop there. So I just thank you so much for, allowing yourself to open up to that opportunity. We have a question from Benzo Recovery Jenny. She says, is box breathing part of this? So box breathing is included in the training. It's one of the 60 techniques, and traditionally it's called Samavriti and Pranayama. So know that all the breathing techniques in this training are combined from all of my different trainings. So a lot of times you'll go to like just modern breath work, like a soma, an alchemy breath, a holotropic, or you'll go to more traditional pranayamas like Samavritis, box breaths, or you might be doing free diving like ventilations, or you might be doing respiratory therapy techniques, or you might be doing sports performance techniques. And I was so passionate about the breath that I spent years just going through all these different trainings. And then I thought, like, man, there's got to be a cheaper way to do this, but also more accessible in the way that this is such powerful information that I wanted people to have access to it. So that's really what breath technique training is. It's got techniques from freediving, from pranayama, from breath work, from respiratory therapy, from sports performance, and we go over all of those. So Jenny, I hope that answers your question, but yes, that is definitely included. And then know too that every breathing technique has different variables. So for instance, like a box breath, you have 4 parts. You have your inhalation, your retention, your exhalation, and your suspension. but you can make that all different calibers in the sense of how long you're doing it, but even the muscles that you're using to do it. So there's a lot of different ways that you can change that very simple technique. So the other thing I kind of just want to touch on, Heather, is that this breath technique challenge is a way for me to give back. It's a way for me to gift a very special person a seat into breath technique training, because I know not all of us are doing great financially at this time, and it's not it's not inexpensive. So it is definitely something that I want to be able to give back as much as possible. And I kind of just want to touch on the story that you were the very first scholarship that I ever gave away. And now I have a different process of how I'm processing the scholarships and doing the challenge and that kind of stuff. But at that time, it was just like an email form, and you just, said like, hey, I need help, I want this. And your entry moved me so much. And I just want to be kind of transparent in the sense that, like, in a Western world, or not even in a Western world, in a modern world, money can cause a lot of scarcity and a lot of fear, because it's like how we're living through the world, or how we're surviving. So for me, I had spent just so much money and time building breath technique training that I was broke and I didn't have the ability to give anything away. I just didn't. But like your entry moved me so much. I was like, screw it. I can't forget my why of why I built it in the first place, to just, hey, give it away and make sure it touches as many humans as possible. So yeah, if you just want to like touch a little bit on the scholarship, because the coolest part is too, you've been able to give that back, which is just amazing.
Yeah. So, this was pretty much the first scholarship I've ever really accepted or needed, other than like Florida Bright Futures, because I haven't been in that position. And like you said, it's a really tough position to be in, especially if you're in a similar type of, physical state of distress that I was and am still catering to. And it did breed a ton of scarcity. Like in benzo taper and withdraw, you're just in that little pit being like trying to claw out for anything. And I really couldn't afford it. I could have put it on a credit card, and I put some of it because I was like, I want to pay into this in some way. I want to give something in some way what I can, but I couldn't really give much. And so I remember writing the scholarship being like, it's like my thumbs were like moving without me trying to tell them where to go. It was just like download streaming, like, and I remember writing it being like, there's no way she's going to not be able to accept this. Like, not in an ego way, just in this like compelling, like with my story, with what I was writing, with my truth. It was, it's a tough place to be in. And I think there's millions of us out there. I just think a lot of us aren't even in that space of awareness. And so me accepting that was pivotal for me to accept anything. I wasn't really accepting help. I was shut down from that capacity because I had asked for help before and I had either been denied it or something else had happened. And so it was really key to moving me into a different place and shifting my mindset, even without the course itself, like that decision to do something new and to do something without knowing what it was going to do, or if I could pay that money back or any of that. It was a very big unknown for me. And the second I stepped out into that unknown saying, I don't care what happens, I'm going to try it anyways and accept this help, that was when like the whole universe started opening up to me again. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful, because I think that that's something a lot of people can relate to, is we have been raised in many different cultures that like we should be self-sufficient and that we should be able to handle everything on our own. And when we ask for help, sometimes people are saying like it's perceived as a weakness. And I really think that vulnerability is such a strength, and it gives the opportunity to, like, think of how good it feels to help other people, like that gives the opportunity for other people to feel great about being able to serve and being able to give back. And And honestly, I think that that's what's at the root of all of these breathing techniques is first and foremost, we're able to give back to ourselves through that connection of our life force, our breath, you know, the very thing that's keeping us alive at every single moment. But then we can actually connect and open ourselves more up to other people, both to give help and receive help. So I just want to say thank you so much again for, you know, all the steps that have brought us to where we are in this moment on this live. So just thank you so much.
And in my hair catching fire at your yoga class at one point.
Yes, that was a very interesting like first meeting.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to let everybody know that I'm about to announce the winner. Before I announce the winner, some of your videos they moved me so much, just like Heather's entry. And it's so hard running a heart-based business because, you know, I'm not in the best financial situation, but like I again want to just give and give and give and give. And I really hope that this can be an inspiration and a lesson that like the more you give, just like you said, the more it opens up for you to receive. So on that note, there were two people who did a video that were super inspiring and just like, you know, like I just love you all so much. So I want to say thank you. And because I could only pick one winner, what I'm giving to Hannah and to Danae. Danae is really awesome. It was cool that you said performance because she had posted this amazing video all about how she is a performer, and that's the only time she's really connected with her breath is when she's allowing herself to say like, oh, what emotional state am I supposed to prep into, or what song am I supposed to get into? So Danae, I'm giving a $150 discount to, or a partial scholarship to. And then also Hannah. Hannah comes to some of the classes at the Collective St. P, and she is in, I think you said residency, but in for palliative care for babies and nursing. And she wants to really help and serve in that kind of way. And it's just so amazing and so inspiring. And so Hannah also is going to get $150 off of breath technique training. And then before the last full winner was another person who just left this beautiful, vulnerable video about how she wants to serve more Spanish-speaking mothers in postpartum care and postpartum trauma. So for Aida, I want to make sure that I give you a $786 partial scholarship. So it brings breath technique training down to like $100. And I hope that that really helps, serves, and helps you continue to serve. And then the winner who's getting the full seat, the $897 full scholarship, is Chelsea Hirsch, also Chelsea Noel. She's in the Amazon right now, and her husband makes pottery, and she left this beautiful thing about how she wants to serve too. So it's just like, I wish I could give everything away for free all the time, and I hope I get to. Like, I really hope that that is a space in my, you know, life that I can get to and just be like, everybody, breath technique training is free for the rest of your life. Come and get it. But for those of you like you, Heather, who has supported breath guidance and breath technique training along the way, I just want to say thank you. Like, thank you so much, because it's because of you that I'm able to continue to keep sharing all of these gifts, and hopefully all those people to continue to share their gifts as well. Tina says, thank you, ladies. I'm so grateful that this video showed up when I wasn't expecting it. I want to connect in more. Chelsea, thank you so much. Gratitude, Danny. Chelsea, you're so welcome. I can't wait to connect with you and see you in training. And then last but not least, because I really want this to be a little bit more affordable for everybody, I'm going to be giving a 10% discount code to anyone who signs up within the next 48 hours. So that's going to give you about $90 off of the training as well. And I'll pop that into the comments when I replay the video, but I know Instagram loses it. So just know that the code is EPC1010P. So I'm going to like pop it into the comments real quick just in case that gets lost. And again, this is my life's work and it's something that I'm very, 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 very passionate. And I really do, like, I'm not joking when I say that I hope that one day I really can just like make breath technique training an accessible training for everybody to continue to learn and grow and share. So, Aida's here. Yay, you're so welcome. And again, like your video really, really moved me. Everybody's video really moved me. And I hope that these breathing techniques can not only serve you, but can continue to help you to serve so many other people as well. Edward's here. Edward was the one who won it last season. He says, congrats, Chelsea. It's an amazing course. Thank you. Thank you. So I just kind of want to open up the floor to anybody who's here and has questions. If you have any questions whatsoever, either to Heather about what she's doing and the way that she's going to be serving you through her own courses and her own offerings, any questions about breath technique training, any questions about the breathing techniques that we've done this whole week for this challenge, anything at all, now's your chance to ask us and to maybe join the conversation. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yay. El Gato Live says, you two are changing my life. How beautiful. Thank you so much. Miriam joined. Benzo Jenny says, we suffer from air hunger, so this has helped me. I want to learn more, but have a client now. So I think she just popped off.
Yeah, she's not on anymore, but that's very common. And yeah, we cover that in my techniques and just really balancing the body back into the autonomic nervous system.
Yeah. And I mean, how cool is that too, in the sense that like the chemicals of medication are constantly changing, you know, our biochemistry, and that something as simple as the breath can really help you shift that biochemistry as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Right, I think. Cheesecake 1003 says air hunger too. And then Chelsea says, Heather, this is such an amazing and beautiful story. Are you doing online breath work or only in person?
Yeah, so I do one class in person at the Collective on second Saturdays at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. That's one of my more breakthrough classes, so we go in a little bit deeper. I wouldn't recommend that class for most anyone who's really rebuilding their nervous system. I would recommend my academy classes that I'm in creation right now. They'll maybe be live for everyone in a month or so. So if you're interested in that, just contact me here on Instagram at Rev Heather Elizabeth, and I'll give you kind of info into that. We're doing some small group meetings and stuff, but in that setting, we work with gentle breaths, we work with guided imagery, we work with visualization, we work with somatic trance, and so you're really training the body to really connect to the mind and connect to consciousness in a way that is not so easy to connect with when you're in the pits of hell. So I do hour-long classes weekly, just depends on the day. And I'm moving in more workshops and stuff in the next coming months. So if you're interested, just let me know and we can connect about that really soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think that that's the cool thing too, is that within breath technique training, we go over so many different techniques, and we really let people know, like, just like medication and prescriptions, like at particular moments of your anatomy, your emotional state, your energetic state, your biochemical state, a particular breathing technique might be contraindicated, or a particular breathing technique might be exactly what you need at that moment. So we really go over why certain breathing techniques work at particular times with different people and different situations. And then if you want to go through the teacher training goes over both the modern breathwork, so the kind of breathwork that Heather's talking about, that it's really stimulating, it's very, very powerful, but also traditional pranayams and respiratory therapy techniques that are more like nervous system rebuilding, that are like more there for like these baby slow steps for you to get a really solid foundation of knowing how to push the dials and pull the levers of your nervous system and of your biochemistry to shift in more manageable desired state. Yay. Amazing. I love that you jumped right in to share. I'm so excited to do more of this here in the Amazon of Ecuador. So Chelsea, I'm so excited again. Congratulations, Chelsea. Congratulations, Aida. Thank you again to Danae and Heather for your entries as well. And to everyone who has joined here live is so appreciated. Again, if you want to join Breath Technique Training, it's going to start August 16th. You can get that $90 discount, that 10% discount within the next 48 hours by using that code ETC10P. Again, I'll type that into the descriptions and the comments all over the place as well. And then just thank you. You know, there's tons of free resources that I know both me and Heather are going to continue to put out there about all different types of breathing techniques. And continue to do stuff like this where there's scholarships and challenges that you can continue to join and enter. And just can't wait to breathe with you all soon and again.
Yeah. Danny, can I say something too to the room?
Yes, absolutely.
If you're on the fence, if you're wondering, should I do this? Will this change my life? Will this increase the quality of my life? Will this help me heal in a way that I never expected? Yes. Like, if you want that, if you don't want that, it will not do it for you. But if you're really wanting to change your life, to make your body feel better, to make your experience of whatever it is you're doing to feel better, I guarantee you, if that's really what your heart's desire is, you will get it from this training. Like, this isn't a sales tactic. This isn't a change your life type of, MLM opportunity. This is like change your life by changing your inside. And I will say this too, if someone like me can do it from where I came from and how extraordinarily down I was, how much pain I had in my body, it's almost 90% gone. Like, I had incredible debilitating pain, and the breath has, movement obviously helped with that, but the breath has been the key to transforming my life. So that's my pitch.
Thank you so much. And I remember actually being on one of the live Zoom Q&As with you, and you were like, this was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I try, it's funny, I try not to give people as much of that kind of heads up, just because I know it's scary, it's vulnerable. Like, we all kind of want to go into this state of change and to better ourselves, but I think when it really comes time to do it, we're like, I kind of like the discomfort of what's known. So I don't want to do all of this work to really change and optimize my life, because then not only is it like the chrysalis coming out of that cocoon and having to like figure out how to fly and grow wings, but then too, you kind of have a responsibility to yourself and to other people to continue to kind of like step up and really make yourself and other people in the world a better place. So thank you. Thank you so much for talking to that point.
Thank you. Thank you for getting me here. You were the portal that allowed the transformation. You were the person that was like, I will give you this thing for almost zero money if you would like to change yourself and then the world. And I was ready for that. I wanted that. And just thank you for all of this. It's profoundly changed my life, and I mean that.
Thank you. Like, all the thank you. So this is one of those moments where it's like, no, you hang up. So I want to again say thank you to you. Thank you to everyone who's joined the lives, the training. Congratulations again to everyone who's received a discount or a full scholarship. And I hope that you will tap into your breath. I hope this inspires you just a little bit, even in this moment, to be like, wait, how am I breathing? What's going on? And, to know that your breath is always there with you. And it's just, anytime you hear me or Heather or anyone, preaching legitimately on the breath, like there's a real reason behind it. And I hope that inspires you to investigate a little more. Last comment says, baby steps for me right now, but it's already changed my life. Thank you, girls. Heather, my pelvis pain was unbelievable until your Thursday class. This is real. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I will talk to you soon, and I will see you soon, and I will definitely breathe with you again soon.
Yes.
All right, everybody, thank you again, and I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your week and your Monday. Don't forget to sign up within the next 48 hours. Use that discount code, and Breath Technique Training August 16th.
Just do it.
Awesome.
Bye, Angel.
See you. You got that one.